Hello and welcome to our video on how to help your child with reading. Today we will be looking at why it is so important for children to read daily, the problems some students can face when it comes to reading, and how we can overcome those problems. There are many long-term benefits to reading every day. For younger children, regular reading helps them to improve their reading ability, applying their knowledge of phonics and increasing their confidence as fluent readers. As children grow up, daily reading helps to boost their vocabulary, increase their knowledge, improves their memory, and improves their ability to articulate themselves clearly. Reading improves problem solving, conversation, and creativity skills, and as adults, reading can reduce stress and anxiety, diminish the risk of Alzheimer's, and increase lifespan. In short, reading is a simple yet powerful habit which can have a significant positive impact on all people of all backgrounds and ages.
Reading difficulties can be picked up from an early age in the junior school, which is important because early intervention is always the key. Phonological awareness is the ability to tune into the spoken word and recognise different speech sounds. Having phonological awareness means being able to distinguish between these initial sounds and blend the individual sounds together to make a word. Children begin to lay the foundations for phonological awareness from a young age. In the early years, there's a particular focus on children becoming interested in different sounds and beginning to show a keen interest in sounds and rhymes within independent play. These skills will become the core skills for phonological awareness. As children progress in their reading, they use these skills they have gained and refined to begin to segment and blend words, making them skillful in understanding regular words and equipping them with tools to sound out new words. So phonological awareness works hand in hand with the decoding skills by ensuring children have a strong awareness of the singular sounds in words and how these relate to letters. They can then work on blending these individual sounds and letters to decode the word. All children develop at varying rates and each child should be viewed as an individual. However, when it comes to phonological awareness, there are some key indicators to look for which can mean that children are finding this skill a challenge. This could include a disinterest in songs and rhymes, an apparent struggle when joining in with songs and rhymes, or the inability to notice sound, repetition, and alliteration. As children progress into KG1 and KG2, these challenges may manifest more prominently, and children may need support to distinguish initial sounds in words, blend individual sounds in words together, or they may confuse similar sounds. The goal of phonics instruction is to help children to learn the alphabetic principle, the idea that letters represent the sounds of spoken language, that there is organized, logical, and predictable relationships between written letters and spoken sounds. Learning that there are predictable relationships between sounds and letters allows children to apply these relationships to both familiar and unfamiliar words and begin to read with fluency. Sometimes a child may struggle with phonics for a variety of reasons: a difficulty with phonological processing or auditory processing, an underlying learning difficulty, hearing difficulties such as glue ear, or differences in experiences of phonics instruction, or perhaps because they are learning English as an additional language. The simple view of reading can help to explain the types of reading difficulties we might see. The simple view of reading is a theory that attempts to define the skills that contribute to early reading comprehension. A child's ability to decode text will naturally impact on their reading fluency and their ability to understand what they're reading. Fluency is the ability to read a text accurately, quickly, and with expression. Reading fluency is important because it provides a bridge between word recognition and comprehension. When fluent readers read silently, they recognize words automatically. They group words quickly to help them gain meaning from what they have read. Fluent readers read aloud effortlessly and with expression. Their reading sounds natural, as if they were speaking. Readers who have not yet developed fluency may read slowly and word by word. Because fluent readers don't have to concentrate on decoding the words, they can focus their attention to what the text means. They can make connections among the ideas in the text and their background knowledge. In other words, fluent readers recognize words and comprehend at the same time. Less fluent readers, however, must focus their attention on figuring out the words, leaving them with little attention for understanding the meaning of the text. Comprehension relies on the mastery of decoding. Children who struggle to decode find it difficult to understand and to remember what has been read. Because their efforts to grasp individual words are so exhausting, they have very little resources left for understanding. Some signs of difficulties with comprehension could be confusing the meaning of words and sentences, the inability to connect ideas in a passage, omission of or glossing over details, difficulty distinguishing significant information from minor details, or lack of concentration during reading.
In senior school, competent reading skills are key to being successful. A large proportion of the curriculum is based on text and written information, and students must be able to read, comprehend, and infer meaning at a high level. Senior school students can experience a number of problems when reading, which can impact on their overall confidence and well-being. For some students, it may be that English is not their first language, and there are many words they do not know when they read. This may cause them to stop and start as they are reading. Some students may be slow at reading and lack fluency when they read. Some students may read perfectly well, but find it difficult to understand what they have read and are not able to infer meaning. Some students may read without any punctuation, making it difficult to understand what is read. And some students may make lots of mistakes when they read. For all students, this is a very frustrating process, which can in turn make them reluctant readers.
In the early years, children are exposed to language-rich environments which encourage songs, rhymes, and wordplay, as this is a vital part of supporting phonological awareness. Exposure to this learning environment will mean that some children are able to naturally pick up the skill. However, some children may need some additional support. Phonological awareness is an area of phonological processing that can be supported to improve, and we can support these skills through different activities designed to increase and develop a child's phonological awareness. At NLCS, we use the Read Write Inc. program to teach phonics. This is a validated, systematic, synthetic phonics program with a whole school approach to teaching early reading and writing. It's designed to ensure progress for every child. Where we find that a student needs additional support with their phonics, there is a more intensive support program that we can use to support the child. We use Read Write Inc. from pre-KG to grade 1. If a student in grade 2 and above is having difficulty with phonics, we may use another support program called Phonics International, which is a systematic and comprehensive program. This program teaches letter-sound correspondence, the English alphabetic code, and how to put this code knowledge to use. The program also helps build an enriched vocabulary and develop a student's reading comprehension. Children with more significant or complex reading difficulties may be given support through a bespoke literacy program designed by one of our inclusion teachers. These programs take into account individual students' strengths and challenges in order to help them develop their reading skills. Another strategy that can be used to support students' reading is by providing them with opportunities for overlearning. Overlearning is about repeating the same task or piece of learning a number of times to help consolidate the information. There's a good quote that sums up overlearning, which is amateurs practice until they get it right, professionals practice until they cannot get it wrong. This can be important when learning phonics or new vocabulary in particular, which may have to be repeated a number of times before the student masters it. For example, we might make a list of the different ways that you can use a new word, or what words contain a particular sound, for example. This is the basis of overlearning, and it's not the same as rote repetition. For overlearning, we can reinforce new learning through the use of pictures, ICT, or reading and writing, and so on. Widget is another resource that we use in school that can help students with their reading. Widget is an online software program that adds pictures to words to help students to make the connection between the word and what it means. You can see an example from Widget in the lower right-hand corner.
Reading is a daunting experience for those who find it difficult. It is imperative we ensure all reading experiences are positive ones, as having the confidence to read is an important aspect of improving reading skills. For senior school students, we use the following strategies to support their reading. Time for students to read one-to-one with an adult to improve their confidence. Guided reading sessions where students are supported to look for different elements when reading. They may be asked to answer questions or to think about the use of language in the text, or they may be asked to identify words they are unfamiliar with. They may also be asked to summarise what has happened in the passage. Questions can be provided as a guide where students look for the answers as they read through the text. This provides the student with more structure when they are reading. Breaking down reading into small chunks can help to boost confidence, which grows over time, allowing for the amount of reading to be increased. Telling the students what they are going to read before reading can also support students to comprehend the text. Reading buddies can be used in the senior school where older students support younger students to read. Students feel more comfortable reading to another student than to a teacher, and this allows them extra practice reading out loud. Use of the library is also promoted for students to practice their reading. Sharing our love and enthusiasm for reading is also an important strategy to support our students to develop the same passion for reading. Vocabulary mapping is a very effective way to support the learning of new words when reading. When students come across a word they are unfamiliar with, they fill out the map seen here. Students have to identify the definition, synonyms, a suitable picture, and then use the word in a sentence. The words can then be referred to as needed and added to whenever they come across a new word.
Nessie Reading and Spelling is an online programme that's based on structured literacy teaching. Nessie uses a highly structured, sequential, cumulative and systematic synthetic phonics-based learning programme that supports a student's progression to fluency. A subscription to Nessie costs around £30 for the year for one student, and more information can be found at www.nessie.co.uk. Toe by Toe is a highly structured phonics-based reading manual to help anyone who finds reading difficult. It only requires about 10 to 20 minutes a day practice and can be used by parents and teachers. It's very easy to follow manual and can be bought off Amazon. Read Theory is another useful support tool. This is a free website that provides reading comprehension practice to all levels. It starts with an assessment placement, and then as students begin to show improvement, they're presented with slightly more difficult passages. If they begin to struggle, the programme will provide a slightly easier passage to boost their confidence until they show that they're once again ready for a challenge. The web address is www.readtheory.org. Amazon Audible or any other audiobook service can be used alongside the actual book to help students with their reading and reading comprehension. It also allows students to access books that may really interest them, but that they may struggle to read independently. Other useful exercises that can be done at home are repeated reading exercises and cloze exercises. Cloze exercise is a type of reading comprehension activity. It has a passage of text with missing words. Children need to fill in the blank spaces using words from a list or a word bank. The words are usually removed at regular intervals, such as every 5 words. Cloze exercises also help children to think critically and analytically about what they're reading. When deciding what word to put in the blank space, children have to decide what kind of word will fit into the sentence. Should it be an adjective, verb, or noun? And choosing the correct one shows an understanding of grammar and language, as well as vocabulary. The idea of repeated reading emerged in the late 1970s as a result of the writings of J. Samuels and Carol Chomsky. They found in separate studies that engaging children in repeatedly reading text aloud improved reading ability by developing decoding automaticity. Students are asked to read aloud a short text passage until they reach a particular speed or accuracy goal. The goal is to get students to read accurately and at the speed of oral language, and to make this reading sound like oral language, for example, pausing in the right places and using expression. The text used for fluency practice should be at a student's so-called frustration level. If students don't make too many mistakes within a text, say 10 or more per 100 words, then repetition is unlikely to improve their reading very much. There's a website called thisreadingmama.com, which has a lot of repeated reading exercises, close exercises, as well as phonological awareness and phonics exercises that parents may find useful to support reading at home.
The following strategies are very simple yet incredibly effective ways to support your child to improve their reading skills. Reading for pleasure and daily reading are both great ways of improving both reading skills and a love for reading. Incorporating daily reading into a busy routine can be difficult, but well worth it in the long run and highly recommended by many researchers. Ensuring the books your child reads are reading age appropriate is very important. If a child reads a book that is too challenging, they will find it difficult and not want to read. Highlighting new words as you go along will help improve vocabulary, and reading together makes the whole process more fun. Ask questions about what you have read to help your child with their comprehension. Asking them how they know will support their inference skills. If your child reads a word incorrectly, say the correct word at the time, but do not dwell on it or interrupt the flow of the reading. Stopping them to make them say it correctly may make some children self-conscious about reading out loud. Merriam-Webster Dictionary and Thesaurus website is also a good website for use when students are learning new words. The terms are explained in more student-friendly speak, and the thesaurus can be used to expand on the words being learned. Audiobooks and reading rulers can be beneficial for students of all ages. Audiobooks allow the students to listen as they read along at the same time. Reading rulers can support those students who have a tendency to skip lines when they read. We hope you have found this video informative and helpful. As always, if you would like to know more about this or any other aspects of supporting your child's learning, please do contact us on the emails on the screen. Thank you for your time. Have a great day.